Welcome, my friends, to the only game reviews where the score doesn't matter. Just like Pistols in Gears of War 4. So, go ahead and grab you some Buckeyes, or if you're not from Ohio, peanut butter balls. Sit back and get ready to enjoy the show, because this is Gracious Judgment. Now, first off, I do want to compliment Ubisoft. You made a beautiful game. You truly did. The atmospheric visuals that you can get from the wind whisking away the snow as the sun glares through it is just stunning. And graphically, I never found any issues with this game. Graphically, it is polished. Technically, that's a whole nother story that we're going to get into here in a little bit. But one of the funnest modes about this, I thought, was the free roam. Just being able to go wherever you want, not being stuck to certain tracks or lines. To me, that's the best part about the game. And if you don't even like where you start at in the position, or you get stuck, you can just go to your feet and huff it wherever you want to go. I like that part. Having that freedom, to me, is what makes Steep one of the better winter action sports games. Please don't get me wrong, there still are issues. And like I said, I'm going to get into those. But I still think this type of genre is needed. I mean, these games come out few and far between. You know, SSX, Cool Borders, which I remember playing the crap out of on the first PlayStation. But those were so limited. This has opened it to a new world, kind of like Skate did back in the day with the realism. And that's another thing I want to point out. This game does kind of have an identity crisis. There's times when it's very realistic, and then other times where it's not so much, and it can even be in the same circumstance. So it's like the same circumstance, you do it twice, one time it chooses to be realistic, the other it doesn't. So there it can get a little frustrating, and I'm going to show you some examples later on. But one of the cool things about the free roam, other than just being able to go wherever you want, is to be able to ride in a caravan with 3 friends. I love that. Like I said, I will always compliment, always, being able to do something with friends. That's just me. But the overhead map in this game can be frustrating. It just moves so daggone slow, and it'll just decide to zoom in at weird times that you didn't even ask it to. You just go to a certain mark and it beelines right on top of it. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? So that can be frustrating, and I know a lot of people I've seen on the forums are having frustrations with just figuring out what they need to do on the map. Really, it's not that difficult. It'll have new if you've never done it at all. And then if you have done it and you meddled, the top border on the little icon on the map is either going to be bronze, silver, or gold to let you know. So I think it's easy, but everybody's different. But I guess if I even thought of a solution. For those that didn't like it, and maybe if Ubisoft's watching this or someone that works there, you could implement this in a patch. One thing you could do is just have the map cut into 3/4. So take 3/4 of the map, stick the whole map in that part, and then the last quarter, do it to where there's a little side scroll that has all the events listed, and it could either say new or have whatever medal you earned in it and the time that you did it in. That way you could just use the D-pad to scroll all the way through, and it would be a little easier. So that's my opinion on it. But then also the fast travel in this game is really easy as well. You can just go to the overhead map and go to all those points. I mean, all it takes to go to the overhead map is holding a button for a few seconds. And then you can choose all the landmarks and just zoop right there. Quick and easy. Or if you're one of those people that hate the map, you don't even have to use it. You can just use your binoculars, scroll over to the point that you want, hit the button, and you're right there. Simple and easy.
I'm just going to give you a little decent idea of how the map works here. If you can see, some of these have little circles in the corner. That's where you find out what medal it is that you got. And also just let you know that you already did it. And then as I slowly move over here, I'm trying to actually get to that one that says new, but it like auto locks whenever you're near one, and it can get really annoying. So it's easy to tell what you have and haven't done, but it's just really annoying to get wherever you want to go.
Ubisoft gave us 4 sports to choose from: snowboarding, skiing, wingsuit, and parachuting. Now, it's not really called parachuting, but that's what I've always called it. And to me, the parachuting actually fell short. It's really boring, actually. Now, if you like it, more power to you, man. That's just another reason that you can like this game for. but to me it felt way short. Now, if the parachuting was in VR, that would blow my mind. To me, I would probably buy that actually. That would be an amazing experience. So Ubisoft, if you want, you can have that idea, no charge, because I would probably buy it from you. But the other three sports to me are just fine. They're a lot of fun. Now there are issues when it comes to the technical side of it again, but what they did with them, it's fun. It's fast paced, you can do a lot of crazy stuff, jump off of a lot of crazy things. Tons of fun. Now, the wingsuits, I never had any issues. I've heard some people report they're having trouble with hitboxes. Me personally, never experienced it. Like I said, I can see all this stuff when I go through the editing. I can do it frame by frame when I wreck, and I never noticed it. I try to test what I hear other people say. Me, I never noticed it. Now, the skiing and the snowboarding does have issues, with the preloading especially, because you have to hold down a certain button right before the jump and then let it go. That way you get enough air to pull off the trick or whatever you want to do. To me, it was so inconsistent. It did not work all the time, and it wasn't a lot that it wouldn't work, but it was enough to where it would get very frustrating, especially when you're trying to compete and get the best score on that track. And then the tricks are very inconsistent as well. They don't always really just work at all. You may even hit the preload perfectly and it actually work, and then you hit the button for the trick and it just does nothing, and you're sitting there looking like an idiot, wasting time as you fly through the air. But when it comes to the tricks themselves, personally I felt like there was a lot. I've seen other people say no, not so much, and hey, that's your opinion, but to me there was a lot. And here's why. Here is why I say that there are a lot of different tricks that you can do. For this, each direction on the left stick and each direction on the right stick is a different trick. Now, hold this button to grab, pull down, that's a different trick. Up, different trick, different trick. Now, there may not be much variation to it, but really all snowboarding is a bunch, well, at least freestyle-wise, is a bunch of twists and flips and grabbing it in different locations. So, I mean, that's all freestyle has ever been. But also, you can get a little more complicated with it. Let's say you pull down, hold the trigger to grab, and then pull this way. It modifies the grab and makes it in a different location, as well as this, this, and this. And you could do that for all different variations. That's why I say there is a lot of tricks that we can do. And the scoring in this game, I think it needs to be changed up. At least for the competitive side, when you're just doing the free ride, relaxing, you don't give a crap. And really, for that side of it, the game's fine. But when it comes to more of the competitive, like I said, that's where I had the issues with the game. And the scoring was definitely one of those issues. Because it just doesn't tell you what's worth what. If you just do one trick at a time every couple seconds, then it's going to let you know how much you got for the trick. But you're going to have to do that for every individual trick and every combination to find out what's worth the most points. You know, see, the way it works is you start doing them in rapid succession, one ramp after the other. It stops after the first one and then doesn't let you know anything else until you stop doing tricks. It puts it through a multiplier, and then you find out at the end. Unless you wreck. If you screw it up at the end, you never find out how much it was worth ever. It's just gone, and you got to try it all over again. I think the scoring should be that we get to see after every trick that we do what it was worth. That way we can try to figure out on the competitive side what gets the most points. But then also onto the camera. I don't know what happened, because in the beta I loved it. And part of me feels like most of it's the same, but I don't remember in the beta, when I do a jump, or really I'm just going down a mountain flying, I don't remember it shooting off to the side of me for no reason, or really ever. Not just no reason at all, just ever. I don't remember it moving like that. I just remember it moving side to side based on which way I was standing, or even turning. But then also with the wingsuit, I thought the camera was very strange. There's times where this thing is almost right up your rear end. You can't even see what's in front of you. I didn't get it at all. It felt different to me. It could be the same camera, I don't know. But there's only a 3 or 4 week difference between the open beta and when this game released, and to me the camera felt different, and I didn't like it whatsoever. And you do have a different option. You can choose the GoPro, which is your first person view of it. But to me, even that's just impossible to do it on because the camera is so jerky. I mean, I snowboard in real life. I'm only a couple hours away from Snowshoe Resort in West Virginia. And it's, when I'm snowboarding, man, like, my head doesn't jerk around like I'm a freaking bobblehead. So to me, the GoPro is just completely unplayable in that point of view. But you know, if it doesn't even, if the normal camera doesn't shoot to the side and just try to do all these fancy things when something you think's cool is going on, it's fine. If it just stays behind you, maybe a little higher, but like, I don't know, just like I said, it needs more camera options because the ones given are not up to par and can be extremely frustrating or even cause you to wreck. And then jumps are inconsistent in this game as well. Things that you think are going to be ramps for you just to shoot off of and do some cool trick with insane air ends up not being a ramp at all. Or it is a ramp, it's just sometimes it doesn't even let you go on it. The G-force meter, which is what's going to decide how much force that your legs can take when landing certain things or doing certain actions, it needs to be relooked at. The beta, I felt like it was fine. Now, not so much. Like I actually felt like the game was more playable during the beta than it is right now. And the G-force meter is one of those things. I mean, when I land on rocks and do flips, 4 different flips, and I can land it, but then going down a mountain extremely fast and I just tumble because my legs can't take the pressure. Or really, there's a lot of times where you can't do 3 tricks in a row. Like sometimes it's so realistic, it becomes unrealistic. Because there's people in real life that play this sport that can do some crazy tricks in rapid succession and land them just fine, but in this game you can't. And the customization in the game, it's okay. It's nothing special, it's probably average at best. There's a lot of things to choose from, but some of those things are the same design, just with different colors. If I could ever recommend customization for a game, I would say give us the design of whatever we're going to get, and then allow us to click on it, and then have different color codes that we can choose after we click on it. That way it's not just trying to artificially inflate how many options are really there.
And here's the 8 characters that you get to choose from, and you can customize them all. Helmet, goggles, face mask, jacket, pants, gloves, backpack, boots, skis, snowboard, anything. And I'll just give you an idea here of what you can choose from, the type. Like, to me, there's a lot of things to customize, just not a lot of customization options. Like the things they give you to choose from, I don't feel like there's very many. But some of the designs are really cool.
Now there are different game modes that you can play when it comes to the more competitive side of it. You can do races or just trick freestyles, or there's some game modes where it's a mixture of both. But that's really all it offers. Now you can challenge other people to beat your scores, but they're not really there with you. And that's where I thought the game fell short too. I think it would have been cool to be able to set up races from point A to point B, let however many people you want to join, and just one starting location where everyone's at, and then just let the chaos commence, finding their own line down to the bottom. I think that would have been fun, but it wasn't there, unfortunately. And with everything that this game's given, like if you're wanting it for more of the relaxing side, it's fine, completely fine. But more of the competitive, it's infuriating most of the time. And to me, in my opinion, it did not seem worth $60. That's just my take on it. But what really matters is what you like. So after everything I've said, if you're still kind of giddy about the game, go get it, man. You'll probably like it. But just take what I've said, maybe even watch some more reviews, honestly. You know, different opinions are a good thing, and people see things differently. So just take what everyone says, put it all together, and make your own informed decision. And if you have any questions still about the game, feel free to post it down below. There's no real spoilers that you could say. I mean, it's a snowboarding game, that's it. No story. There's a weirdo that talks every once in a while, but that's it. So like I said, if you do have any questions, post them down below. And until next time, you take care, have a good week, and always remember, game with grace.